Okay, I believe we're live now. Hi, everyone. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. And I'm truly grateful to be here with all of you for another healing step session in our Bridge to Healing community. And for those of you who are new or just tuning in, I'm Janine Naus, a grief and trauma relief specialist, and I'm here to support you as you navigate your healing journey. So today, we're diving into a topic that's deeply painful for many, and that is narcissistic abuse. And specifically, we'll be addressing the three common struggles survivors often face. And these struggles leave you feeling lost, confused, and drained. But know that you are not alone. See, my goal today is to help you feel truly seen and understood, and to share strategies to support your healing. So let's start with the first struggle: self-doubt and confusion. Now, this is one of the most painful and frustrating struggles survivors of narcissistic abuse experience. So take a deep breath here. And if you've been in this kind of relationship, you know how disorienting it can feel when the very foundation of your reality is shaken. See, narcissistic abuse often comes with gaslighting, and that's a form of manipulation that makes you question your memories, your perceptions, and even your sanity. So imagine this: you remember a specific event clearly, maybe an argument or a broken promise, but when you bring it up, the abuser insists it never happened or tells you that you're exaggerating. See, they might say, "You're being too sensitive," or "I've never said that," until you start doubting yourself. And you may begin to ask yourself questions like, am I overreacting? Or is it really that bad? See, these doubts aren't just passing thoughts. They become a relentless spiral, pulling you deeper into confusion. And it's exhausting, isn't it? That constant self-questioning can erode your confidence and leave you feeling completely lost. So let me know in the comments if you ever felt this way. Have you ever doubted your own perception of events, even when deep down you knew something wasn't right? Now, your experiences are valid, and it's important to recognize that you're not alone in feeling this way. So here's the thing: it's completely normal to feel confused after being manipulated repeatedly. Narcissists are incredibly skilled at planting seeds of doubt to keep you under their control, and they make you question what's real so that you become more dependent on their version of reality. And when that happens, your inner voice, the one that knows what's true, can become buried under layers of self-doubt. But it's crucial to remember that your confusion is a direct result of someone else's intentional manipulation. It's not a flaw in you. It's a consequence of the abuse you endured. And this realization can be the first step toward reclaiming your trust in yourself. Now, one powerful strategy to start rebuilding your sense of self is to keep a truth journal. So here's how it works. You want to write down events as they happen, including what was said, how you felt, and your interpretation of the experience. Now, documenting these memories and details helps ground your reality, giving you something concrete to look back on when doubt creeps in. And over time, you'll begin to see patterns that affirm your experiences, and you'll recognize that your perception of events is valid. Now, the journal becomes a tool for you to reconnect with your inner truth, a way to remind yourself that your voice matters and your experiences are real. So I've had clients who felt like they couldn't trust their own minds anymore. And one client in particular started journaling after every difficult interaction, writing down exactly what she experienced. And she told me that at first it felt strange and even uncomfortable. But over time, her journal became a source of empowerment. And it was a place where she could reclaim her truth, a reminder that She wasn't crazy or making things up. Try it out and remember, this practice isn't about justifying yourself to others. It's about rebuilding your trust in your own mind and nurturing your inner strength. Now, you deserve to feel confident in your reality and to know that your experiences are valid. And this is a step toward breaking the cycle of self-doubt and starting your journey back to self-trust. And if this resonates with you, let me know in the comments or share your thoughts. Your voice deserves to be heard. Now let's talk a bit about the second area that I want to cover here, and that's feeling isolated and alone. And this is one of the most painful and heartbreaking experiences survivors of narcissistic abuse face. The sense of isolation can be overwhelming, can't it? It's as if you're trapped in a bubble of loneliness, cut off from the world, and it's all by design. See, narcissists often use isolation as a powerful tool to maintain control. And they might work to convince you that no one else cares about you or that no one would ever believe your side of the story. And they might try to separate you from your loved ones, subtly or even overtly. So you begin to feel that you can't trust anyone but them. And it's a deeply manipulative tactic, and it leaves you feeling not only disconnected, but also powerless. Now, have you ever felt like no one could possibly understand what you've been through? Or that even trying to explain the abuse feels like too heavy a burden, like an impossible task? See, if you've ever felt this way, let me know in the comments. And sharing these feelings is a way to start breaking the silence and the isolation. So here's why isolation cuts so deeply. See, humans are wired for connection, and we thrive on feeling understood, supported, and seen. And when those bonds are intentionally severed or weakened, it's not just emotionally painful. It can feel like a core part of who you are has been shattered. And when you add the fear that no one would understand or believe you, the isolation becomes a prison. And I remember working with a client named Lisa, and I'm sharing her name and experience with her permission, of course. Now, she felt incredibly alone after years of being told that no one would ever care about her and the way her abuser, what he did. So the manipulation made her believe she was unworthy of genuine connection, and she felt trapped in this lonely reality. And and convinced her that her abuser was the only person she could rely on. It was heartbreaking to see, but it was also so inspiring to witness her strength as we worked together to rebuild her support network. And it didn't happen overnight, but with each small step, she began to realize that she was worthy of love and connection. She started reaching out to people she trusted, and gradually, the heavy fog of isolation began to lift. If you're feeling isolated, start small. You don't need to share your entire story right away, and you don't need to feel pressured to fix everything at once. So start by reaching out to just one safe person. Now, this could be a trusted friend, a compassionate family member, a therapist, a coach, or even an online support group like our Bridge to Healing community. See, sometimes even just saying, I need some support, can be enough to open a door. And you don't have to feel alone in your pain. Take your time and remember that the first step doesn't have to be perfect. It's the act of reaching out that matters. Healing is so much easier when you're surrounded by people who see you, hear you, and believe you. And you deserve to feel supported and connected, and you are worthy of healthy, loving relationships. Now, remember, you are not alone in this journey. There are people out there who care about you and who will stand beside you as you heal. Now, If this resonates with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts or experiences in the comments. So let's create a space of understanding and support for each other. Now let's touch upon our last struggle here in it, and that I plan to talk about, and that is feeling powerless. See, this is such an intense and deeply rooted struggle for many survivors of narcissistic abuse. See, narcissistic abuse doesn't just chip away at your self-esteem, it actively undermines your sense of autonomy and control. And when someone constantly manipulates and diminishes you, it's easy to feel as though your choices don't matter or that you've lost the ability to influence your own life. And feeling powerless is paralyzing. It's as if you're trapped in a cycle, unable to move forward no matter how hard you try. Now, narcissistic abusers work to make you doubt your own strength, convincing you that you're incapable of making decisions without their input or approval. And this erosion of confidence leaves you questioning your every move. And over time, it can lead to a belief that you're stuck, that you have no options. Have you ever felt frozen? Like you couldn't take a single step forward, or felt as if someone else had taken over the steering wheel of your life? Maybe you found yourself doubting your ability to make even the smallest decisions. Now, if this sounds familiar, let me know in the comments. Your voice matters, and sharing your experience is a way to begin for you to begin reclaiming your power. Now, abuse leaves a lasting imprint, but it does not define you. The narrative of powerlessness is the lie created by the abuser to keep you under control. You have more inner strength than you might believe right now. Healing and reclaiming your power is a journey, and it starts with small but significant actions that remind you of your autonomy and worth. And one strategy to start taking back your power is to set small, manageable goals. And this might sound simple, but it's incredibly effective. And when we've been manipulated into thinking our choices don't matter, the act of making intentional, self-supportive choices can be transformative. So think of one self-care practice that brings you a small sense of peace or fulfillment. And it could be taking a 5-minute walk outside, journaling your thoughts, practicing deep breathing, or meditating. Just pick one and make a commitment to yourself to do it daily. And these small acts may seem insignificant at first, but they are powerful reminders that you are in control of your choices. So every time you engage in one of these practices, you are reaffirming your right to care for yourself, to choose for yourself, and to honor your needs. And with each choice you make, you begin to break the illusion of powerlessness. I worked with a client who felt she had no control over her life decisions after years of narcissistic abuse. And the idea of making even the smallest choices, that felt overwhelming to her. So we started simple. She committed to spending just 5 minutes a day in a quiet reflection, journaling her feelings. And over time, she realized how empowering it was to carve out even a small space in her life that was completely hers. And this small act became the foundation for her to be able to start making bigger decisions one at a time. And remember, reclaiming your power isn't about making grand, life-altering changes all at once. It's about those small, consistent steps that remind you of your worth and your strength. And over time, these steps build momentum, and that momentum transforms your life. You are not powerless. The power to heal and to make choices that serve you well, your well-being lies within you, waiting to be reclaimed. So take that first step today and be proud of yourself for every small victory. If this message resonates with you, please share your thoughts or experiences in the comments. You are worthy of a life full of choice, freedom, and self-empowerment. So let's walk this journey together, one step at a time. I want to thank you so much for joining me today and for being open to exploring this deeply personal topic. Now, remember, you're not alone in this journey. And if the session resonated with you and you want to dive deeper into breaking free from narcissistic abuse, I invite you to join my six-week Stop Suffering Now program. And we work through 4 pillars: insight, impact, intuition, and implementation. And each of them are designed to help you break free from the emotional burdens that are holding you back. Now, our next session begins on December 2nd, 2024, and I'd love to have you join us. And if you have any questions, feel free to hop on a I Have Questions call with me by clicking the link in the comments below. And remember, we also have our supportive Bridge to Healing community on Facebook, where you can access all past healing step sessions and find resources to continue your healing journey. You deserve to live free from the damaging effects of narcissistic abuse and begin the healing process. And together, we'll take this healing journey one step at a time. So I want to thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.